everyone, I'm Holly with Missouri River Soap, and today I'm making gingerbread soap. I have in this little cup my coconut milk, so I'm going to go ahead and add that into my base oils. And I'm just going to give that a bit of a blend. I'm going to add in my lye solution. It's been sitting for a couple of days covered, but it has some lye lint, so I'm going to go ahead and strain that out today. Like I always say, if it's fresh, it doesn't bother me, but if it's sat for a few days, then it can sometimes be a little too crunchy, and I just like to take it out. Okay, so now I'm going to blend it up. Everything is at room temperature, so for today it's right around 70 degrees, so that means everything is going to be a little slower, typically. Now the fragrance can cause it to accelerate, and the amount of blending that I do will also cause it to move along quicker or slower. But for right now, I just need to get this all blended up, and I usually quit when I don't see a lot of oils floating on the surface. This should actually be a fairly easy batch to work with because I'm not splitting it off into a lot of different colors. In fact, I'm going to split some off before I add in the scent so that I can keep the top white. This fragrance has vanillin in it, which means it's going to turn the soap brown like vanilla. I am at a light trace. And light trace means when you put your spoon in and kind of swirl, it leaves a trace on the surface. But it's not a thick one, it's just a real thin thing. I'm going to pour some out for the white. That should be good enough. So now I'm going to put the fragrance into this base. I'm probably going to add in some brown mica also to kind of move it along. Sometimes fragrances can take on a speckly appearance when it's going through the discoloring phase. And to tell you the truth, that kind of drives me a little bit nuts. So I thought maybe I'd just put some brown in today. So I believe this is Tall, Dark, and Handsome from Mad Micas. It's just a dark chocolate brown color. This is just going to kind of get it going. Now this one used too light, can be a little bit gray. It's looking pretty good. It's a little bit of a, it's a cool brown. But that's good. Didn't actually take very much. It's a pretty strong mica. But it's definitely on the gray tone. I would add more if it wasn't going to discolor. So now I'm going to add in the fragrance. And it is reduced to take into account that I split some off. Go in with the fragrance. It is just the smoothest gingerbread. Now, not all gingerbread fragrances are safe for the body, skin safe, so that's just something we have to keep track of, but this one is. Oh, that's so pretty. Now, gingerbread does have a red tone to it, so I'm kind of hoping the brown will kind of bring that around a little. So I'm giving it a good blend because I do want it to thicken up in the mold so that when I go to put the white on that it's not going to sink in. I do feel like it's just a smidgen too gray. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of soap. Oh, it's thickening up quite nicely now. I'm just gonna add a little soap to a cup with some Satin Penny mica. And I'm gonna stir it about and see what I think. Just gonna add in the rest of that there. It is thickening up nicely, so I better go ahead and get it in the mold. That Satin Penny did give it a little bit of warmth. It's still mostly the darker color, but I think it's more in line with gingerbread now, especially since it's going to discolor. It just smells so good. It's not strong on the spice, not strong on the bakery and the butter. It just smells so good. I'm going to continue to get this cleaned up and I'll come back. So the vanillin in the fragrance is going to seep up into the white. So to kind of curb that a little bit, I'm going to take some of the Tall, Dark and Handsome mica and just do a little mica line. Just so that it will create a little bit of a barrier. I did not want it to come out that quickly. So the soap batter that did not have any fragrance is still nicely workable. I have some titanium dioxide here. I'm trying a new one from Nurture Soap, so I'm kind of getting new for me. Kind of nervous about it. When you get to using something, you know what to expect, but I had to get some in fast, and my regular Rustic Essentials was out of stock. They normally get an order to me in 2 to 3 days, but it being out of stock, that was kind of a problem. I'm going to just slowly flood this on, and then once it's set up, I will give it a texture. Gonna get the rest of this on, and it looks like I'm just gonna have to wait just a little bit for it to get nice and thick. So I'm just giving it a little bit of texture. I don't want high peaks. So now it's time for the fun part. I have these little soap cubes, and what I do is I make a batch for embeds and just split it into different colors into little 1 pound molds or 2 pounds depending on what I need, and then I just cut it up however I want. Should we go this way? I feel like we should still go this way. Okay, so my Princess Kisses soap has the cubes, but they're quite a bit larger. It was more than a few years ago. Several years ago, I made one. I had this blend that was holiday candy. Of course, the manufacturer discontinued the fragrance part of my blend, so I haven't been able to make it. But I made a brown soap because it discolored and added some rainbow soap balls on top. And it was so fun, and so I thought, let's do the rainbow on the top this time, only we'll just do little cubes. I'm still deciding at this stage whether I will be able to have some of my soap ball videos, soap ball soaps this year. I know everyone loves them, but I have carpal tunnel and I'm really struggling to make the soap balls. And I just prefer hand rolled. I've not found a mold that makes a perfectly round soap ball, and I've tried soap dough and it's just all kind of the same thing. It just hurts my wrist quite a bit. It's very unfortunate, but it's just kind of part of the deal for me. But we'll see. By the time this video goes up, the decision will be well made. So I guess I'll have to put a note there. So I think I'm going to turn this around so that I can look at it a little differently. Whoops, I didn't want. I tend to get a lot of orange. I don't know why that is. I don't really like orange so much. It's not my favorite color. But whenever I'm working with soap cubes, I almost always grab the orange, even though I use less of it typically. So I have pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And then when I had leftover soap from making those, I made some multicolored, swirled. So I have those in here too. And this is just looking just dilly dang spectacular. I am a fan. Now, I do have one more element to this, and I am putting on a little bit more cubes than I intended to originally. So, I may change things just a little bit. I just keep seeing all these little spots that need a soap ball. Not a soap ball, soap cube. And I know you guys see things at a little different angle. Let's see if I can pick out some more of the multicolored, because I really like those. Doesn't that look so nice? I just love it. I also have some cups here with some colored sanding sugar. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on the top. I really don't need the little popsicle sticks anymore. So I just took some sanding sugar and I added a little bit of alcohol to it. And then just mixed in a little bit of mica, not too much because you don't want it to, I don't know, just kind of be dry in there, cause them problems. Yes, I like this. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. So just gonna kind of sprinkle these little sugars around to be kind of like rainbow sprinkles. I probably could have mixed them together, but I didn't want any bad things to happen with all the rainbow colors together, because there is still some loose mica in here. I just love that. It's just filling in all the little spots. This looks so cool. Nice. It's so cool. Okay, so now I'll do a little, oh, the blue really pops. That's nice. That is nice. The sanding, oh, I added a little bit of Sparkle Plenty into these as well. And that's from Mad Micas. Just to give it a little shimmer. And it just looks so pretty. This is so fun. I think I had this one kind of planned out before I had any of them this year. I try to do remakes mostly, but I do enjoy making new ones, so I've popped in some new ones this year. So now in with a little bit of pink. It looks so nice. Yes, it does. I'm having fun with the sanding sugar this year, coloring it all different things. Alright, just gonna look this over, see if there's any major gaps here. And finally, I'm just gonna take some iridescent glitter and put just a little bit on the top to help out that shimmer. There's a little shimmer going on from the Sparkle Plenty, but not as much as I would like. So we're gonna give it just a little bit of iridescent glitter. It's so pretty. I love it. Okay, so here we have gingerbread soap with all the amazing cute cubes and sprinkles. And I will see you back here for the cut. Here I am back to cut the gingerbread soap. I love the top, turned out gorgeous, and it's so nice and dark, and I love how it turned out. I was a little concerned about it at first because it was looking a little bit gray, but it's looking better now. So yeah, you can see how the inside is kind of like grayish green. I was a little concerned about that for a little bit, but it just needed that time to change. I'm trying to think of what day I made this. It's been like 4 days since I made this one. So you can see that nice little line, mica line. That's going to help prevent from bleeding up into the white too much, though I do anticipate it's still going to do it. So I need to tighten my wire. I think I'm going to set it on its side and see if it'll go through those cubes just a little bit better. Whoa! That one went flying. I feel like it's knocking them off a little bit more. Some are going to come off. That's just the way it goes. And that's why I usually put on plenty, just so that we can lose some if needed. So there's the top. Just looking so beautiful. I love it. I love, oh dear. Okay, I'm just going to go this way so I keep a better eye on these. I love having the little multicolored ones in there also. It looks really, really good. I am glad that I colored the base a little bit. I just like what it's bringing to the soap, making it a little bit more intense. Gingerbread, in some cases, is pretty dark. Others, it's kind of a light brown color, I guess. So I probably went a little darker than regular gingerbread, but I think it's all right. Looks gorgeous. Look at this bar. That is a fun bar. I'm having to keep really good track of the focus on my camera. Some videos it'll do great, and then others it's like gets confused. I haven't had this camera for too long really, but I'm alright thinking about replacing it. So there we have one loaf. We'll go ahead and cut this second one. I need to be good at cleaning this off because we may not be planing these edges, and if I don't clean off the wire, then it's gonna leave little brown soap pieces on these pieces of soap and the sugar sprinkles, and I don't want that so much. I think the really straight edges look nice, and so with soap bars like this with the embeds on top, we very rarely give those a plane, but we'll see. I'm not 100% in charge of plating anymore, so my husband may decide otherwise. This is a great fragrance. It's just, I mean, you definitely could tell that it's the gingerbread. It's just lightly spicy and creamy, and it's just really nice. It's not overly spicy, but it's there. And this one was skin safe. And we always strictly adhere to usage rates for fragrances and essential oils that we use in all of our products. Very important. I love how crisp the top looks compared to the base. It's just really a great color combination. The white and the dark. Okay, so we're gonna get one more out of this loaf, and that will be it for the gingerbread soap. Oh, this one ended up with a little smear of the satin penny mica, so it'll be fine. That's no problem. All right, guys, there we have the gingerbread soap, looking beautiful, working on discoloring. I guess I could show you one of these over here. So we do clean all our soap bars up, so this is just, they're kind of in the rough, but look how nice and dark that is. It is a dark brown, not so much a gray or a black, but it's just so pretty. Alright guys, I'll see you for the next video. Talk to you later.